on this episode of the Grand Circle Tour podcast.
You're just now getting into it?
Oh no, I've already watched the whole from all 7 seasons. I watched the whole thing, but I'm rewatching them now.
I call foul on your answer because the Clone Wars is brilliant. That show, 20 years time, and that show, I now love the prequels.
Yeah.
An alien lands on the planet Earth and looks like a cat with a collar that glows whenever he needs to do any sort of telekinesis.
ESP.
It is the Under the Sea journey of the Little Mermaid in Fantasyland. I could ride that over and over and over again when I am there. And I sing out loud very well every time.
Doesn't everyone?
The future is bright indeed. We're all of us dreaming of the better days ahead, and a part of your bright new future could be a move to where the magic lives in the greater Orlando area of Florida. One of the biggest decisions you'll make when considering a move is selecting a realtor who can successfully match you with the right home in the right location at the right price. Victor Naraki is the realtor who can help you make the move you've always wanted to. Whether you're a first-time homeowner or looking to move near Disney World, Victor is in your corner. If you are looking for an experienced real estate agent covering all of Central Florida, please visit DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com today and find out just why you should work with Victor. I encourage you to create a free, no-obligation account on his website. By doing so, you'll unlock the website's full potential and be able to enter specific criteria, save listings, and browse new properties sent to your email. Visit DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com today or visit his Facebook page, Victor Naraki Realtor. And don't forget to tell him the Grand Circle Tour podcast sent you.
So, Kris, what were you saying?
I wasn't saying a word.
Yeah, you were.
No, my lips are sealed.
Are you a go-go?
No, I'm not a go-go.
All right, fine.
I'm
go-go
a
dancer.
I'm a bangle. A go-go.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Kris was a go-go dancer.
No. No, I was a disco dancer, not a go-go dancer. And we've lost. I live to tell the tale. So
we've lost the kids. 30 seconds in. Aloha, everyone. Welcome to the Grand Circle Tour. Jungle Skipper Jay here with you, and we are going to go down the rivers of fun tonight. I have my 2 favorite co-hosts, Mission Commander Justin and our very own Food Fairy Kris. And it feels like, in the words of Han Solo, didn't we just leave this party?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Who's doing this? Who's doing our schedule? Because we just did this.
Yes. Except Justin was in the command chair, and now you are. So.
And I'm going to get us lost on purpose because that's what us skippers do. So I'm going to start ladies first. Kris, how are you and Waltz Up?
I'm good. Waltz Up with me is, by the time this airs, it's probably going to be the day of or the day before my birthday this week.
The day after. It depends on how I feel this week. Okay. Sorry.
And my husband and I decided we're going to go to Paula Deen's restaurant in Pigeon Forge for my birthday. So that's what I have to look forward to this week. Besides our live show tomorrow night, of course.
Oh, we're going to have a great time tomorrow night.
Yes.
And I bet everything in that Paula Deen restaurant tastes like butter, literally.
It does. But hey, it's my birthday, so I don't.
You know what? A butter birthday is a great birthday.
Yes, butter birthday.
Justin,
butter birthday is a better birthday.
You know what? A birthday is a day I can eat a whole birthday cake and be like, what? It's my birthday.
That's right.
They had my name
that
on
any
it.
day I want.
I know. That's why I love being an adult. Cake any day.
Any day.
Justin, Waltz Up with you.
So obviously, anyone who's been paying attention to our live shows and such knows that I just got back from my trip to Disneyland, and that was a lot of fun. But the other waltz up I was going to talk about today was that I finally finished building my Lego R2-D2.
Ooh.
Oh.
It stands about a foot tall. It's
Oh my
it was
gosh.
it was a fun build. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I had started building that before we went on vacation, and he wasn't done. I had the body done before I left, and then
Okay.
I came home and finished up the head.
So how long approximately did it take you from start to finish?
I did it just like a little bit at a time.
Mhm.
So it's hard to say because it was sitting out there for probably a couple of weeks while I just every so often while we were watching TV or whatever, I'd pull out a bag and put a few pieces together.
I gotta ask you, Justin, because the OCD takes over. I open up that bag, I think I'm gonna do a little bit here, a little bit there. I kid you not, 2 hours later, I've built a whole play set. I'm done. I can't stop myself once I begin. How do you control? Where do you get the self-control?
I buy it at Walmart in bulk. No.
How much do they charge per pound for that?
Costco has the Kirkland brand.
Oh.
2 words.
No, I like to do it just I will usually do it just kind of like one bag at a time. So they have the numbered bags, so I can go. All right, well I'm just gonna do this bag and then stop. It's a nice stopping point.
Yeah.
I wish I had that self-control because I literally cannot stop. It has to be done. 2 words for you, my friend. I know you know what they are. Light kit. I know for a fact they have a light kit for this one.
Oh, they have light kits for so many of these.
Yeah.
But like I say, some of those light kits are pretty spendy.
Yeah. We need to do another Lego episode, Justin, you and me, where we talk about the light kits and the joy and frustration of them.
Well, once I start buying some, we'll definitely have to do that.
There you go. So what's up with you?
Not to be competitive, I think I have the best waltz up this week.
Ooh.
I'm going to Disney World.
Yay!
I leave in 7 weeks, and it cannot go by fast enough. It's funny because
we don't know why it's funny. Okay.
No, I haven't left the house since COVID. We just now ate at a restaurant for the first time. And I was going to go to Retro Walt Disney World's 50th event. I get in on a Saturday. The event was Sunday. And I really don't want to spend my first day of freedom from the house in a ballroom. So I now have that Sunday open, trying to figure out, should I squeeze in an Animal Kingdom day, maybe? Half day?
That's always an option.
Yeah.
Or do I just go crazy shopping and eating at Disney Springs? I don't know. I've got 7 weeks, and I want people's advice.
It's a tough decision. It really is, because you know that you want to go get stuff while you're there, and you have the time to do that if you don't obligate yourself to a park day. Not that you can't shop at Animal Kingdom, because they have great gift shops there, but you have more of a choice and a variety at Disney Springs than you would there. So
well, they've got a new dog store, so I can bring something home for the dog and he won't be as pouty.
That's right. If you didn't take him with you,
I always have to put a bone in my bag on the way back. So but this is how pent up I am and ready to play. The parks are open 12 hours each day that I'm going. You guys know me. I'll be there an hour early, and I'm going to stay the full 12. And then an hour after, I'm going to use every minute of Disney time I can.
That is the way to do Disney parks.
Yes.
Although I do have to admit, this last time while we were at Disneyland, we kind of petered out after a couple of days.
Yeah.
So we were actually leaving a little bit before the park closed, getting out ahead of the crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah, we couldn't quite make it because we're not in the same kind of shape as we used to be.
This is why God put a Starbucks in every park. And that's one of my top tips. Bring a Starbucks card, and you've always got coffee.
Yeah.
Well, my problem wasn't coffee so much as my feet ached because I hadn't been doing all of my exercising for so long.
Yep.
Yeah, yep. I can't wait. And I'm sure the passengers want to hear you say that over and over, but we have a topic this week.
Yes, we do.
8 minutes in and we got to it. We're getting better every time.
Yay.
We have a topic? Is that new?
We have a topic.
Is that a new thing?
We're going to talk about our favorite Disney guilty pleasures, the things we love that we know we should be ashamed of, but we don't care. Our love is too deep and too strong for these things. I have 2 movies and 4 rides. So,
okay. All right.
Justin, why don't you take us out first?
Well, the first one I had written down here is actually a song. And it is Lost in the Woods from Frozen 2. I'm going controversy right out of the gate here.
I can cut all this out, right?
Absolutely. We know that every time.
Okay.
The reason I say that is within the context of the film itself, it just kind of comes out of nowhere, doesn't really contribute anything to the overall story or plot. It's stuffed into this movie that already seems like it's going, you know what? Let's just give everyone a song because everyone gets a song. But at the same time, it is such a fun song that I enjoy the heck out of it. It's very much reminiscent of kind of like early 90s rock music, and it's just a lot of fun. So that is my reason for putting that down as a guilty pleasure. Although I will also say you shouldn't feel guilty about your pleasures. Just enjoy them, especially when they're Disney.
True. I like your choice. I like the song, but Justin, you are the reason Frozen just won't thaw. You're like are you our Groundhog's Day of Frozen? Would you like something 7 more years of Frozen?
Well, I do live in North Dakota, so that things being frozen is part of my
relative. It's relative. It's all relative, isn't it?
It's
Absolutely.
snowing here, and I hate the snow. I'm sure longtime listeners know I hate the snow.
That's why I moved out of it.
This is why I'm moving to sunny Florida and going to DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com and using Victor as my real estate agent.
There you go. He's ready, willing, and able.
I'm going to work that in every episode I'm on. I'm going to DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com. Victor Naraki, that's the agent you want.
That's the one.
Oh, absolutely.
Kris,
He knows that whole area backwards and forwards. He'll get you set up.
Yep.
He is kind of like the oracle of information for moving down there, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And a swell guy.
Yeah.
DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com.
That's it.
So, Kris.
Yes. Okay, so one of mine is binge watching Disney Plus. And what I usually wind up binge watching, and I've already, because I had never seen these before until they were on Disney Plus, is the Star Wars, the Clone Wars animated series.
You're just now getting into it?
Oh no, I've already watched the whole from all 7 seasons. I watched the whole thing, but I'm rewatching them now.
I call foul on your answer because the Clone Wars is brilliant. That show, 20 years time, and that show, I now love the prequels.
Yeah. No, I had never seen this animated series until it was on Disney Plus. So when it came on there, I started watching from the very beginning. And I watched the whole thing, and now I'm watching them all over again because I like doing that because I catch things the second time around that you don't notice the first time because you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And then you
because it's all new that first time. And so you're
but there's so many layers when you go back and watch it again. Listeners, if you haven't seen the Clone Wars, it is Star Wars as Star Wars gets.
It is.
Characters that have no dialogue, that just do a walk on, are
Mhm.
characters you will find you really care about as the series goes on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I just love it. And I mean, I can sit and, if I don't really have a whole lot else going on because I am retired.
So you do have the time to binge watch whatever you want.
And I will spend 3 or 4 hours watching in the afternoon when Paul's not around. So that's
So
one
when
of
I
Paul's
will also add, I mean, if you like Clone Wars, I also really enjoyed Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, I do too. Yes, that's
So
another one. That's right.
That is the other
Yeah.
animated Star Wars one that I love to watch, and I watched that through a couple of times as well.
Mhm.
Rebels was brilliant, and
It
stuff
is.
from
It's
Clone
really
Wars
good.
carries on, and you guys know I love Bad Batch. I thought that was perfect Star
it's
Wars.
amazing. Yes.
Oh,
Because who-
absolutely. But yeah, and you even get like, so Ahsoka Tano, for example, is
Mhm.
introduced in Clone Wars, and then she shows up and in Rebels later
Right.
on, and so you kind of see her there, and then of course she's showing up in Mandalorian and Book
Yeah.
of Boba Fett.
Yep.
Watching her grow and become a real person, literally, but same with Bo-Katan and now Sabine and Thrawn,
Yes.
and all these wonderful characters are coming out of that.
Yep.
And if anyone asks you who's your favorite Star Wars character, the correct answer is always Ahsoka.
And I just got done reading that book about her not that long ago, and it was fabulous. So if you haven't read that,
Chris, I'm going to put you on the spot. I think you should do some detour Star Wars book reviews, and I'll leave that there.
sounds like a good idea.
I think you should really do those.
Yeah. Okay, so what's yours?
Mine, I'm going to go straight to my number one favorite guilty pleasure. You guys know what it is. It's a
We know
movie.
what it is.
It's a movie. I know it is not very good, but I love it, and I will love it to my dying day. I love this movie endlessly. The Black Hole from 1979. With its disco robots and disco sets and long, slow Star Trek motion-like pacing. I don't care. I love this movie.
Now,
And
I'll point out for some of our listeners who may or may not be aware of this, but if you go back to the Grand Circle Tour podcast history, we do have a review of
Mhm.
The Black Hole where we talk about the movie in depth
Oh.
and complete with spoilers, so you have been warned.
It's on Disney Plus.
It is.
Go back.
It is
to
a
that
movie
episode,
that is weird at times, especially when you get to that ending. And you might wonder, well, how weird can it be? Okay, there's a plot point where one of the scientists can communicate telepathically with a robot.
With her ESP, as they call
With
it.
her ESP.
And both their eyes do that Davy Jones thing from the Monkeys we talked about last time we were on.
But
I
I
don't-
agree with you. I agree with you, Jay, that this is a movie. It's definitely worth seeing. It's definitely
It
worth
is.
watching. I enjoy it as well, partly because I just enjoy old science fiction movies
Mhm.
anyway, and they're all a little hokey at times.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah.
It's very, very 70s. I mean, we had that whole period after 2001 where they thought sci-fi had to be slow, and it doesn't.
No. Yeah.
This is a movie that is definitely trying to be more epic than it really is.
It's like everyone else at that time, they're trying to cash in on that sweet, sweet Star Wars money.
Yep.
So they
Yeah,
thought 20,000 Leagues in Space.
Mm-hmm. And I even did a painting of the black hole for Jay.
And I'm not going to turn, but it's right there on my It's right next to John Barrowman's autograph.
It's rather fitting there with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't turn the camera right now.
No.
And I'm going to embarrass myself. Two things. I love this movie so much. I actually joined the Disney Movie Club and had to do the 6 free movies and then buy a whole bunch just to get The Black Hole on Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah.
And I know he's never going to get back to me. It's so embarrassing. I actually contacted the last surviving cast member last week and asked if he'd come on the show.
Yeah.
And I know he's never going to get back to me. He's never going to come on. But
You don't know that for sure.
Joseph Bottoms, if you're listening, we'd love to have you
Joseph, come on, Joseph. I used to have a major crush on him. Was he the swimmer?
It was the bell bottoms, wasn't it?
Was he the swimmer?
I don't know. Did he do anything besides the black hole? I don't know.
Well, yeah, he did.
I once they're in this movie, it's like the Bug and Amber. They're always in this movie. I don't care what they did.
He had a brother.
Yeah, like Anthony Perkins. I'm sure he didn't do anything else.
No,
Right.
No, or Roddy McDowell, or his Borgnine. Wow,
Yeah.
we just lost the kids again.
Or is that Mimi?
Okay, this whole episode, we're losing all the kids. Okay,
kids, if you want to hear old people talk, this is the show for you.
Yeah.
So you can sound really cool when you're like, I know about this old stuff. So enough of my, and it is one of my favorite movies. I have no shame in that. Justin, what's your second guilty pleasure?
So I saw your examples, and you both of them were movies when you told us this topic. So of course I immediately thought about some of the old movies that I love. And since you bring up the black hole, I thought I have to bring up my other sci-fi movie from about that same era, 1978's The Cat from Outer Space.
I love that movie.
Much like the black hole, this is a movie that is objectively not great.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it is so much fun. It is, and it has such great talent in it. It is not the slow plodding sort of epic, grand sort of thing that the black hole tries to be. Mm-hmm. This one is it was made to be fun, and they know what they're doing the whole time through.
And it's cameo crazy of people from the 70s. But what's funny about this film, Justin, until a couple of years ago, I thought this was made in the 60s.
Really?
It looks like it. It really does. It looks older than it is.
Yeah.
I mean, because the last time I watched it, I remember going, I can't believe that this is something that came out the year after Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does not look like it did not have that kind of budget. It did not have that kind of look.
Tell the kids what it's about.
So it's an alien lands on the planet Earth and looks like a cat with a collar that glows whenever he needs to do any sort of telekinesis.
Mm-hmm.
ESP.
He hooks up with an Earthling named Frank, who has to help him find something to fix his ship, which turns out to be gold in massive quantities. So they end up working with McLean Stevenson as Link to gamble in order to raise the money needed to buy the gold to repair the cat's spaceship so he can go home.
Had the cat read the book Goldfinger, this would have been a much more exciting movie.
But yeah, so you have in this, you have Ken Berry as Frank, you've got McLean Stevenson, who of course was well known from MASH, and Harry Morgan is also in this, so you have both commanders from MASH. Yeah. Roddy McDowell is in this one too, and of course Sandy Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's just so many great names in here.
If you listeners, if you've never seen this, take the 75 minutes. It is just a fun, old-fashioned. It really is that, like, in that sweet golden 50s, 60s era of Disney romps, even though it's from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really does look like, I mean, just in terms of even like the special effects and everything. I mean, they do a bunch of stuff with telekinesis and the glowing collar or whatever. But it's just obviously, simple wire work like you would see from the 50s or 60s. It's not
like in WandaVision.
Like in the early episodes of WandaVision, yes.
Yeah, right.
But it is. It's short. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's a great Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon watch.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kris, back down to you.
Okay, so I'm going to go into food, which of course I have to.
The Monte Cristo?
What?
You're going to prove Justin wrong about the Monte Cristo?
Yeah. No. My guilty pleasure is making a reservation at a really nice restaurant and then ordering one of the most expensive things on the menu.
I thought you were going to say then cancel.
No, I would never do that. Hey, I'm the food fairy. I got to mention food, right? And
Yeah,
there you go.
Disney. No, I just think that, if you have a trip planned and you're spending that much money already, you might as well go and really enjoy yourself instead of penny pinching the whole time. You could penny pinch here and there. You can, watch it, but there's got to be at least one time when you go and just go hog wild with a meal.
Totally agree. I mean, I've already done a dining reservation for each day, and I'm going to a restaurant I really want to go to and getting a meal I really want to eat each time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of fun, and especially you go into Disney. Those are always some great restaurants.
Yep. And you don't have to do it every single day. It's just, a really expensive one that you always wanted to go to or whatever. You just, at least once during your trip. So that's mine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is a can't miss restaurant for you?
Well, one of my new can't miss restaurants, and right now it still has not reopened because of its location, and that is Takumite in Japan. Because all of the people that work at that restaurant are like exchange people they're all from Japan. Well, they're still not allowed to come back over, I guess, so it's still not open. And it was the same thing with Tokyo Dining, which is directly upstairs from this location. And Teppanyaki, which is in the same building across the way. And it just wasn't, I went to Teppanyaki and it was just American cast members that were working there. And it just didn't.
It's not the same, is it?
The whole experience of interacting.
It kind of ruins that illusion.
Culture. Yeah. Because the girls that work down in Takumite and the ones that work at Tokyo Dining, they have on the clothes and they interact with you and they bow, and it just really adds to your whole experience. So but Takumite is just I was really disappointed that it wasn't open for me to even attempt to get a reservation on my last trip.
I noticed that it still isn't open.
No.
And they have great sushi.
Well, the whole place, all the food, they have the tasting menus there, and that's almost out of my budget because of what you get versus going to like a steak place and spending, $50 or $60 on a steak. This is like 100 and something just right off the bat. And so we have ordered off of their regular menu, and it was absolutely killer. I had duck, we had salmon, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to that place opening again. So when I get there again, I can go.
I call that an in-laws restaurant, because if the in-laws are in from out of town, we'll take them there.
Oh, yeah, because they're going to pay.
Oh, no, I'm going to pay. It's my in-laws. I want to impress them.
No, you want the in-laws to pay because it's so expensive.
No. I want to be like, I got it. You put your little bunnies away. I got it.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, so Jay, you're up.
Yours.
For me, I'm going to say it loud and proud. I love It's a Small World. I don't care what anyone says. I love It's a Small World on both coasts.
Mm-hmm.
Something I have to do every time. And it's a ride that makes me happy. It's not creepy. The song's not an earworm. I won't hear any of that.
Mm-hmm.
It is perfect.
I don't think it's an earworm either. I don't know why people say that.
I think people think it's cool to hate Small World, and it's
I
not.
guess. It's not cool to hate
But
it.
I see people all the time. I don't like it. Not a song.
Yeah,
I love it.
Get it out of my head.
You know what? I did my
Scared.
MDE this week, and I had to choose between Small World and Pirates. I'm sorry, Kris.
It's okay.
I chose Small World.
I get it. I really do.
The ride makes me happy. I just love it.
That is one of the rides that I think is a little better in Disneyland than in Disney World, though, because in Disneyland you're closer to the dolls that are singing at you. You can kind of see them. The rooms are smaller. It feels a little closer and more intimate. So I like that. Whereas at Disney World, it seems like they're kind of pushed off a little farther away in these larger rooms.
Well, I like the fact that it starts outside, basically, too, right?
Yeah.
So,
I love the castle and the facade in Disneyland.
Yeah.
But I got to be honest, I like them both equally because they're both different. And it's one thing I really appreciate. Where they didn't just cookie cutter it like with Mansion, where they just built two of everything and put one in a warehouse. The one at Disneyland, it is stuck in 1963, where they had 6 months to do it, and it is a perfect little time capsule. That art, that period, that Waltness, and the one at Disney World, you can tell it's the end of the 60s, the beginning of the 70s. It's kind of a little more wild. It's a little more. It's kind of branching out and psychedelic the way they, as far as they could. I really like that they're both different. And I have to ride them both on both coasts.
Yep. It's okay. You can do that.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
I could defend Small World for the next 6 hours.
We know.
No, I know you guys know.
This would be like someone trying to tell you that black hole is bad. No, we will defend it to your death.
I'm a geek. I am very passionate about the things I love.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
No.
So, Justin, what's your next guiltiest of pleasures?
You know, since you brought up a ride like It's a Small World, there is a ride that I really enjoy that I don't know how many others do, and that is the Alice in Wonderland ride at Disneyland.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's a great ride.
I love that ride. I mean, and again, there's not that much to it. I do love that they've added in now the digital screens and such, which really help to bring that whole thing to life. But otherwise, I mean, it was just a pretty static little ride through. But I loved it. I loved it before, and I love it even more now.
It really is. It's a fantastic dark ride.
It is very cool.
And it's
I love those digital screens. I kind of wish they would almost add those to more of the attractions.
Yeah, I wish they had that at Disney World.
I'm surprised they don't, because you could actually build out a little Alice Land. You put a new version of the ride there. You could import the Walking Gardens from Paris. I mean, you could really do a little mini Alice Land, and it's something people always like.
Absolutely, and it's a great film as well. That's one of my favorite films.
Is it?
It is one of my favorite of the old classic Disney films. Cool. Yeah, I fell in love with that movie as a very small child. And I've just loved it ever since.
It's your black hole, but you got a ride, and I didn't.
That's funny.
That's a great choice.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Food Fairy.
Food Fairy. I'm trying to decide which one I want to do first, but I think I'm gonna go with an attraction as well. And this, you're gonna guess what this is, and it's not Pirates. It is the Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid in Fantasyland. I could ride that over and over and over again when I am there. And I sing out loud very well every time.
Doesn't everyone?
If you see Kris in line, guys, just let her go about 10, 30 yards ahead of you.
Just let me. Yeah.
Honestly, again, great choice, except for the really quick cardboard kill of Ursula at the end. It's a fantastic attraction.
It is. I love it. And yeah.
It adds a lot to Fantasyland. It's something I do. I have no shame. I love that ride.
The the outside too.
Yeah.
I mean, just seeing that, and it's just it.
You like, cry when you see it, don't you?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Yeah. And
at Disney World in particular,
like you're there in the movie when you see that castle.
They really do. That little area brings it to life so well.
Yeah, it does. Very much so. But yeah, I am very guilty of singing at the top of my lungs. Hopefully I have not offended anyone. Fortunately,
I heard you. No.
I actually can't sing, but
Well, here's the question. Do you sing like Ariel or do you sing like Scuttle?
No, I do not sing like Scuttle. No, I sing more like Ariel. Yes.
Well, that is good.
Yeah.
Do you think you sound like Ariel? Or do
I've actually had people tell me I sing like Ariel. So.
Because if you disturb anyone, they could just reach out and knock on your clamshell.
Yeah, they could. And nobody's ever done that, so I think I'm okay.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. If there was a Beauty and the Beast ride, I would probably belt out one or two numbers myself. But
I do the same thing on the Nemo ride as well. So,
Kris, I don't know if I want to go to Disney with you now.
Oh, come on!
You don't scream on the you don't do the narration for the Ghost Host, do you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, I do not.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
It is your turn.
Okay. So we actually just talked about this, 2 weeks ago on our couples episode. Mm-hmm. It's another movie from the 70s starring Jodie Foster. And thanks to Justin, I now know it's Barbara Harris and not discount Madeline Kahn.
Yeah.
The original Freaky Friday and just the time capsule of the 70s it is. If you've only seen the one with Lindsay Lohan or the one after that or the TV show or the stage show, skip those. Go straight back to the source. Again, just that fun, wacky, safe Disney golden age period.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I mean, kind of like Cat from Outer Space. It's a movie that is just it's fun. Everyone involved knows the kind of fun that they are there to have. It doesn't take itself way too seriously or anything like that, and it is a lot of fun. I really enjoy that film, although it is definitely a product of its time, as we discussed 2 weeks ago.
Dated.
It is very dated,
but that's part of my love for the film.
That's right.
But you've got a young Jodie Foster. You've got John Astin as her father, and he is always great in everything he is in.
He is. And he's an idiot, and he's kind of he doesn't mean to be, but he's kind of a jerk in this film, but you still love him.
Yeah.
And again, that's the part that I feel is probably the most dated, is the way he acts and interacts with people, especially his wife and his daughter.
Very much
and
so.
what he expects from them and such is different in that time period than maybe we would prefer to see it in this day and age, but
if I talk
it's very much a part of that.
If I talk to my partner that way, I would be on the downstairs couch and making my own meals. Just saying.
You would.
But it's a fun film. It's a great film. I actually have it downloaded into my iPad for my flight already.
Oh,
there you go.
With 3 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett and Cruella.
Okay.
All right,
you are set.
I'm already getting ready. 7 weeks is going to go by, not fast enough, but fast.
It will.
All right, one more round. Justin, you're up.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with another movie, and this one is We're going to Medfield College. We're going to the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes from 1969.
Good choice.
So this one, of course, this is Kurt Russell as Dexter Riley, who he goes to install a part into the school's computer, and the floor is wet, and he's wet because it's raining outside. The computer zaps him, and suddenly now he is a genius at everything.
Mm-hmm. Justin, for the younger audience, tell them about how big the computer is.
Okay, the computer is like this whole room. I mean, it's like, and that's supposed to be this fantastic big supercomputer. Even the part that he's installing, that was like a memory chip or something that got fried out, but it's like a foot by a foot
size of a 2x4, yeah. With it spinning reels to reels and flashing knobs.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing just ends up being kind of a fun, silly, kind of a chase adventure kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the great Cesar Romero as the villain of the piece, and it's just a campy, fun film. There's
is.
nothing much more to say about it than that.
It's funny how many of our choices are falling in that Ron Miller safe area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun time. It was like you say, and I like calling it safe because it is, and nothing feels like it's too far out. It's just nice and simple, and you know who's the good guy and who's the bad guy, and even the bad guys aren't really.
When they were still doing classic Disney at a time when films were, the training wheels had been taken off. There was no more. You were getting really dark films, really edgy films, and Disney was still doing that safe family thing for anyone to go to the movies. Well, Chinatown and The Godfather and I could do 100 films, but I'm not going to.
Yeah,
Kris, you were there. The 70s were great for film.
They were. 70s were great. Period.
But yeah, so this one is the first of 3 Medfield College films that Disney produced, and it was Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, Now You See Him, Now You Don't, and The World's Strongest Man.
Mm.
And 2 of the 3 are on Disney Plus.
Yep.
Yeah, just a fun Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon fun film.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It is another film that is very much like that.
Yeah, good choice. Kris?
Okay, this is my number 1 guilty pleasure, and I am not ashamed of it at all.
No shame in your game.
Making a reservation at a spa.
And canceling?
No. For a facial or something, either at a resort or on a cruise, because I've done both. Oh my goodness. It is super relaxing, and I always feel so fabulous after I do this. As a matter of fact, when we were on our last cruise, I made an appointment for a facial, so I went and had that done. And then I went to the salon and had my hair done. Now, that was when my hair was really long. So they put it all up for me because we were getting all dressed up that night to go to Palo. And they put I had taken these little like crystal things to twist into my hair because they had it all pulled back. And I felt like Cinderella when I got dressed up that night and went to dinner.
Okay, so, where are the pictures of you with your do tight?
My what?
With your do tight,
I have pictures.
I want to see.
Okay. Yeah. They're great.
Send them to Holly. They might be the poster for this week.
The back of my head. Just all done up with sparklies. No, but seriously,
it sounds pretty.
I just felt so amazing after I had this done and then got all dressed up and we went to this wonderful dinner, and so that's definitely one of my guilty pleasures is going to.
It sounds like a fun prom night on sea.
Yeah, it kind of was. Yeah. because that was the night we got pictures taken. That was the captain's pictures, the formal ones in front of the picture with the ship and everything. And yeah, it was an awesome night. But I know that I felt way better because I went and had that stuff done first.
Yeah,
it just added to the excitement and the whole aura of the whole evening. So
well, just that you can get all that done at sea, and
yeah. Now the spas, just so people know, they are reopened for massages, but so far they have not made available any of the other services as of this date. Matter of fact, I talked to Beatrice and checked with her on this, and she got some information for me and told me that. So let's keep our fingers crossed that all these people are going to be going back to work that have not been there for almost 2 years now. So
now I'm wondering if I should get a massage on my free day.
there you go.
I'm gonna text B after this.
There you go.
Book me for a massage.
I could use one. I think I might now get a massage. Thanks, Kris.
No problem.
Thanks for doing my back and neck. Good.
No problem.
You're a bad influence.
Yes.
Or a good influence. One of the two.
That's why we like her. She's like both.
Yeah. I've got a little devil in me. So
There you go.
So what's your last one, Jay?
So my last one is, this is something I have to do in both parks on both coasts. I love the steamboats, the Mark Twain, the Liberty Bell. It's something you can only do at Disney. I loved reading the Mark Twain books growing up. I loved coming out to Missouri as a kid, going to Hannibal. So I love paddling down the steamwheeler, paddling down the river on these steamwheelers. It is so relaxing. It takes you out of this hectic environment. It's something people overlook, but it really tells its own story, and it's a unique attraction. And I just love doing it.
I do too. And as a matter of fact, you get some of the best views of certain attractions from that boat.
Yeah.
The backside, like the backside of water,
that's my line.
Backside of Big Thunder Mountain is amazing. So
even just the castle views, because you're just up that much taller.
Yep.
They used to do this at Disneyland. I don't know if they do it anymore, but you could go to the cast member at the boat and say, "Hey, I'd like to get my pilot's license," and they would take you to the top, and you would steer the boat.
Really?
For the whole voyage,
Oh,
and then
wow.
you get an actual pilot's license at
I
the end.
didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you try this at Disneyland, I don't know if they do it anymore. Don't blame me. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to, just go ahead. I don't care, lady. I'm going to try, though, with Liberty Bell. It'll be like, hey, so, like, is there any way, like, I could, like, totally, like,
get
like
my
maybe go
pilot's
to, like, the top, like, get my license? Like, could I?
And what do you think they're going to say if you ask them like that?
Like, I don't know, but I'm going to be all like, hey, like, could you, like, totally be cool and let me do it?
It's all about presentation. You just have to know the right way to ask.
I'm going to do the Bambi eyes, really big, just that little tear coming out. Could I please? I've been so good. I haven't left my house in years. Can I please go to the top? Instead, I want to ring the bell.
I just want to ring the bell so badly.
What if I just cry and be like, I want to ring the bell? It'll work. No one understands. No one understands not coming.
It's now that we've gone off the rails here.
We always do. But that's our charm.
It is.
Guys, I had a lot of fun tonight.
This was fun.
Passengers, let us know, what are your Disney guilty pleasures? What do you like that you don't think you should?
Yeah.
And while you're at it, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. It really helps us out. Come visit us at Grand Circle Tour Magic Ticket Holders page on Facebook or Grand Circle Tour at Instagram. We have an awesome live show every Monday night. We have 2 rotating teams of tour guides. What is it? Are we on at 8 o'clock on Mondays?
9 Eastern.
9 Eastern.
Yeah, 9 Eastern, 8 o'clock Central.
Yes.
So you get a chance to see all your tour guides, but we're like the X-Men now. We have 2 teams, blue and gold. I don't know which one's which, but come hang out with us. We have an awesome time.
Yes.
Absolutely. We definitely have a lot of fun with those shows.
Yes.
We love to interact with our listeners and viewers.
Yeah, come join our growing community. We love you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
And with that, we are back at the dock. And as they say in the Jungle Cruise, you can stay here, but I screwed that up. As we say in the Jungle Cruise, you can stay, but not here. Get out.
That's right. Goodbye.
Kid, take us away.
If you would like to keep the adventure going after the show, be sure to like our Facebook friends page, Grand Circle Tours Magical Ticket Holders. While you're on Facebook, like our group page, Grand Circle Tours. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Grand Circle Tours Podcast, as well as on Instagram, GCT Podcast, and our YouTube channel, Grand Circle Tour. If you would like to email us, drop us a line at gctpodcast@gmail.com. T-shirts and other fun merchandise can be found at tpublic.com. Simply search Grand Circle Tour Podcast. If you enjoyed your adventure, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Only one rule, make it good. All logos, sounds, songs, and music that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are the full ownership of the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be the ownership of the Grand Circle Tour Podcast. Thank you for riding with us, and welcome home.